Hola chicos! As you can see, I am back in school, so I am making this video especially for my home and distance learners who I will not get to see today or tomorrow, but perhaps this video might be helpful to some people who I will see today or tomorrow too, because it will be a record of me describing your Unit 4 summative assessment, which is called Writing a Rihla, a Journey Through the History of the African and Islamic World. And we are starting this assignment today, Monday for Maroon kids and Tuesday for Gold and distance learners. And this is a summative assessment. It's your fourth summative assessment of the quarter, your fourth of 5, so this is the second to last one. It's not an essay, and it can be a group project if you want it to be. I say groups can be as big as 3, and you can choose your group. So if you have a partner you want to work with, you can work with a partner. If you have 2 partners you want to work with, you can work with 2 partners. If you have 3 partners that you want to work with, you should break into 2 groups of 2. But you have that option, and you also have the option to work solo. And by the way, I say on here, let's say you're a home or distance learner kid and you want to partner, you would like to split the workload, but you don't have an idea of who you can work with since you're at home, send me an email and I will get you set up with someone else who sends me an email. Okay? But and I should add too, by the way, if you want to work with someone who's here, if you know someone who's in class, that's fine, as long as you can connect with them. But what this is, a rihla. A rihla is an Arabic word that means like a written record of a journey. We are studying Islam and Africa, the history of Africa and Islam. And today, actually, you're going to watch an episode of Crash Course where you get to hear about this guy named Mansa Musa, another guy named Ibn Battuta, and their journeys through this part of the world, through like West, North, and East Africa, through the Middle East and what became the Islamic world, and like some of the things they did and saw on their journeys. In this assignment, you're basically going to be imagining that you are on one of those journeys and you are documenting things that you see on that journey. Your rihla is like a journal. It's like a diary of your trip across the historic African world, your trip across the historic Islamic world. And so it's creative in that sense, but you're connecting it back to class because you're describing things you see that connect with what we've learned in class, what we've learned about Islam, what we've learned about Africa, and some of the things that maybe you've read in your textbook or you saw in the videos that you've watched or that I made, or some of the readings that we've done. Man, hang on. My arm is getting tired of holding up this phone. But anyway, you can read through the instructions here on your own and ask me questions. The things I'd like to highlight for you now is, depending on your group size, will depend on how many entries you do. So if you're working solo, you do have less work. You only have to do 4 entries. If you're working with a partner, you have to do 5 entries. If you're working in a group of 3, you have to do 7 entries, which divided by 3 is still less than you would have to do in like a group of 2 or solo per person. That said, if you're working in groups, I really want this to be like a group effort. I'd rather that you not, just split up the work and come together at the end. I don't think the best projects usually result that way. What other stuff do I want to tell you? You should note that the first expectation talks about how you need to have all of your dates in one lifetime. I'll call a lifetime 100 years. Let's say you could live 100 years in the historic African and Islamic world. So if you follow that expectation, everything should be within 100 years of each other. I will not make you follow that expectation. Since we're being creative, we'll just pretend that you're like a time traveler. I still want you between the dates of 500 and 1500 CE within that 1,000-year period. But if you want to jump from the year like 676 to the year 1324, I am going to allow you to do that. However, let's make this an extra credit opportunity. If you are able to keep all of your entries within one lifetime, within one 100-year period, we'll throw some extra credit on that part of your assignment. And if you don't, we'll just say that meets expectations. Your rihla can be either a physical thing. It can be like a journal that you make out of paper with pencils and markers and whatnot, Or it can be electronic. You could make like a journal on Google Slides where each slide is like an entry, or make like a Google Doc and have your Google Doc be like one journal. You can do something else. If you have a creative idea, let me know, and I'll let you know if it sounds good. But those are your options. If you're a distance or home learner and you want to do like a physical journal, because you are like a good artist or just like working with your hands and would rather not stare at a screen, you can still do that. I will just have you take pictures of your finished product, like of each page or entry or whatever, so that you don't have to bring that into school. So you can just do that at home and then send me pictures of the final product so we can be in touch. But I'm already at it, coming up on 6 minutes here. I don't want to make this video too long. Hopefully that gives you some information to get started. Make sure you check out my sample journal entry. And if you have any questions, let me know. You're going to have time to work on this throughout the week, and it will be an important part of your grade, the 4th of 5 summative assessments. So make sure you do a good job on this. And last thing I'll say, when you're doing assignments later this week, like tomorrow, when you watch a video and read from your textbook, make sure as you do those assignments, you're thinking about this Rihla. What is some stuff? What are some sites, some things, some phenomena that you have seen and stuff you've done last week and stuff that you're seeing in your studies this week of Islam and Africa that you can write about in your Rihla? That's how you should be thinking. Email me with your questions.